Brilliant. We're joined by Tom Brittney and the new Vicar, Rishi Nair. Good morning to both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Lovely introduction. We'll come to that in a moment. Goodness me, Tom, that scene when you say, I hope we make you proud, we both nearly went watching it. How was it to film?
Well, just seeing it again there, close. It was close. It was very emotional. I mean, there was no acting required for that at all. We kept crying before we were shooting it. We were like, no, save it for the take. But it was heartbreaking.
Why now? Why have you decided that it's time to pass on the dog collar?
I don't know, I keep asking myself. I don't know, I was happily employed and I felt like being miserable and unemployed for a bit. No, I'd done, 5 series and it was the best time of my life, but every good thing has to come to an end, and I thought Will's journey had come to an end. It just felt like it was time for some new blood, you know?
It's so funny because it's one of those things where it's sad but incredibly exciting at the same time, because all these new opportunities are now out there and available too. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wanted to see what was out there in the world and just, not play a vicar for a little bit.
Yeah.
It's good, yeah.
So, handing the baton over, how do you feel walking into these very big shoes?
Yeah, nervous. Big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
After Mr. Tom Brittney and, of course, James Norton. But yeah, it was really exciting, of course, but also nerve-wracking, and feeling like you need to deliver. The show's been going for 9 seasons. Yeah. I didn't want to be the vicar that came on and then cancelled the show.
That would be bad.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
But really exciting. And as soon as I joined, everyone was so lovely. All the cast, Robson, Tessa Peake-Jones, everyone made me feel such part of the family straight away. And so I felt so comfortable as soon as I started.
Often these things, you don't film it in order. Was that your first scene on set, punching Robson?
That was my very first scene. And I only had one scene that day. And, I was already so nervous. You're like the new kid at school. Yeah. Everyone's been going for 9 years. And I was like, brilliant. My first scene, I punched Robson Green in the
Amazing.
face. Brilliant.
Amazing.
But what a way to start.
Fabulous.
But also, it's the thing of, because it is your first day and your adrenaline's going, and it's so easy to get that wrong as well.
Oh, my God, can you imagine? Can you imagine if I actually broke his nose?
He's a national treasure, you can't hit him.
It would not be good. So have you given some advice to
Rishi about...
I think I gave you a little bit. It was mainly about costume and sort of getting used to the dog collar.
You don't like the dog collar, do you? Is it a bit uncomfortable?
It took a while. It took a while to get used to. It's first world problems for us. What we have to go through wearing a dog collar.
But it is. It's like we're filming in the summer. It's like June, July. It's 5-piece. It's made of wool. Yeah. It gets very sweaty and clammy. It's not very glamorous underneath that.
The real reason I left was the costume.
Was the dog collar.
The dog collar.
And where do you put your mobile phone?
Oh, well, that was a piece of James Norton said it's just in your inside pocket and you just get away with it. And costume maybe come up and say that's not very 1950s. I say it is. But no, apart from that, I think the only advice I gave you was just you're part of the family now. Looking after Robson. That was
Looking after Robson was a big
take
one.
it for long walks. Wet food, not dry food, as he gets.
And a coffee.
Issues. And a coffee.
Oh, a lot of coffee.
Did I tell you about this? Don't give him too much coffee because one series he had an espresso machine installed into his trailer and he had 5 espressos before 9 o'clock and thought he was having a heart attack. He had to get the medic and it was like, Robson, you've had too much caffeine. So
you nearly killed Robson Green. Okay. So you've punched him and the thing is though, and I've been lucky enough to work with Robson in the past, and I remember doing a set visit years ago on Wiring the Blood.
Okay.
I mean, he's brilliant in that sort of thing. And even then, all those years ago, he's always got this little mischievous glint in his eye. Like, he's just a joy to be around. His energy's incredible.
Yeah,
he's like a 15-year-old. It's like we're the most unprofessional professional actors together.
You get told off a lot on set, and it's always Robson's fault. He turned 60 a couple of weeks ago, but he is like a 20-year-old man. He's got so much energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the coffees.
He gets us in a lot of trouble.
It's the coffee.
It's the coffees.
And the thing is, you have such devoted fans. Like, people absolutely love this show. What do you think it is about it that make people love it so much?
I think it's just what the writers and producers of this show is just such a wonderful formula. The fact that it can still work
and get passed along. Yeah.
Because I had the exact same worry as you when I took over from James Norton. Was I'm going to tank the show, but it survived because of just the. It's a cosy crime in some ways, but it's so much more than that.
Yeah.
It's seeing these characters that you love that carry on in this village.
I like the idea of your vicar turning up, though, Rishi, and addressing sort of the themes of racism and the sort of the impact he has when he lands in that very cosy village.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 1961. It's Grantchester, which would not have been a very diverse town in that era. And so, you know, I think it would have been a bit silly if a character like myself came in and no one batted an eyelid and there was no prejudice, because that's not what would have happened. So it was really important that we tackled that. And we did, and we did it brilliantly. I mean, Daisy, the writer, wrote some brilliant scenes. There's a scene where I walk into the pub and there's murmurs all kind of stop, everyone turns, and it's like, who is this alien that's just walked in? So it's great that we touched on it, but it was also important to Emma, the exec, Daisy and Jyoti, and myself, that didn't become the kind of overriding theme of the season, because we address it and then we move on and we get back to cosy Grantchester that we all know and love.
Well, except I'm very jealous of the last episode of this series.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, why? What happens in the last episode? Give us a hint. Give us a little hint.
I think...
It's explosive.
It's explosive.
Oh, wow. Pyrotechnics. Yeah. Have they upped the budget since you've left? Is that what it is?
He was expensive.
I know,
Yeah,
amazing.
Just goes lethal weapon, I'd say. I think
that would be cool.
Yeah. And you've already recorded the next season too.
We've done season 10, yeah. We finished that about 3-4 weeks ago. So it's strange, you know, I've done 2 seasons and...
Are you excited for people suddenly see it because it's tonight?
Yeah, and like even coming on here talking about season 9, I was like, what happened in season 9? It was so long ago we filmed it. And I had to kind of remind myself and make sure I'm not talking anything about season 10 because my head's in season 10. But
and what is going to be your relationship with Robson? Because you leave the first episode, it's your first episode that you're in, on such a lovely note where it's you're right about when you walk into the pub and it all goes quiet, and then you end the episode, you and Robson discussing football, and it's just the two of you talking together. What is your relationship going to be like with him?
It's on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously they butt heads when they first start.
Yeah.
They don't get on. Alfie has a real issue with police and authority, and, you know, Geordie's kind of like always had vicars that help him, and this guy doesn't want to help him. But it kind of sets us up really nicely for the season because you see their relationship progress.
Yeah.
And they actually have a lot more in common with each other than they first thought. And so by the end of it, of course, they are the best of friends.
I think it's going to be really interesting to see that relationship.
Yeah, the dynamic change. And that's what you want. You want it to shift between James to yours, Tom, and now to yours.
Yeah.
They're all very different. They're all completely different relationships. They just all happen to solve crimes.
Lovely to see you both. Thank you for dropping by. Best of luck for the future.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll have you in when we can talk about all the new stuff. And Rishi, can't wait for people to see it.
Thank you so much.
Grantchester returns tonight, 9 o'clock on ITV1 and ITVX. Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.